Today is going really well. Hello everyone and welcome to the Shinhan Tank Pro League, STPL for short. I am Kix, I will be your host for today as usual. And today we have two exciting sets coming up for you. We're at the end of week 5 now, which means there's only 2 more weeks of playable games until we get into the playoffs for round 1. So things are heating up now. Every game is going to count for those spots. Obviously, I'll show you the table in just a second, and you'll see why Group A is a little bit harder to be. It's going to be great to be excited about, but it's going to be a little bit harder to sort of oust the top team. But you'll see that very shortly. But we're going to have TL versus SK Bravo from Group A, and from Group B we will have Foreign Brood War Discord against Seoul. So that should be a very fun. Now let's actually head on over to the overlay and have a look at the table, just to sort of explain what I was going on about before, because it's a bit of a crazy time at the top of the table at the moment. So let's switch over and have a look. As you can see, SK Alpha in Group A are doing incredibly well. They're on 5 wins, 0 losses. They only have 1 more game left to play, and they could perfect their group here, and that would be absolutely insane if they could do that. Second in Group A so far is NetWars with 3 for 1. DM are hot on their heels with 3 for 1 as well, but they have had less map wins and more map losses, so they're going to need to have a good week 5 and week 6 and 7 showing if they do want to catch up. Red, of course, doing pretty well as well. They're on 2 for 2 from Group A. Just trying to think of Team Liquid Staff. 1 for 3 at the moment, but they can make it 3 for 3. Perhaps if NetWars has a bit of a dodgy couple of games coming up, then Team Liquid Staff is certainly in with a shot as well. And SK Bravo at the bottom of the table so far, but or one of the teams at the bottom of the table, not doing great, but this could be their redemption match. Of course, there are 4 sets of or 4 rounds even, so these are just the results for round 1, and they're going to be leading into the playoffs. Group B is looking a little bit closer. You have Seoul Gaming at the top with 3 wins, 0 losses. They're going to have their 4th game today, so they have a chance to break away from the competition, which are IRK and White Clan, both on 3 wins, 1 losses, 1 loss even. And I mean, teams close to them as well, with Naz and Rev coming up close behind. Group B is certainly heating up as we lead to the last 2 weeks of round 1, and I'm very much looking forward to the finals. Cannot wait to see exactly how this is going to go. But let's actually have a look at who we're going to have today. And in our first match, we're going to have Team Liquid Staff versus SK Bravo. This should be a very fun match. SK Bravo not had the best of times so far. They have added a couple of players to their roster though within the past couple of weeks, so they'll be able to make their debut today, and we will actually see one of them today, I believe. Now, there is a little bit of a sad announcement, I guess. Game 1 was a walkover. That did actually go to SK Bravo, so in this set we will be starting with Game 2, but it should be a very good set in that. Let's have a look at what maps we're going to be seeing today. We're going to start off in this set at least with Chupung-Ryeong. For set 3, move on to New Empire of the Sun. Set 4 on Pathfinder, and set 5 finally for the ace match will be on Gladiator if we do make it. So this should be a lot of fun. Now let's have a look at the matches we're going to be seeing. We would have started off with the TVZ, but unfortunately Flash of the Wind couldn't make it on time, so SK Bravo did take the walk over there. But we're going to be starting off with a PVZ between Tupac and OldManSlum. Now I think, yeah, okay, I thought my overlay was wrong, but Tupac is definitely a Protoss. OldManSlum playing Zerg here. He did, wait, is it definitely a Zerg in this game? I think it is. Yeah, it is. Okay, I get OldManSlum mixed up with Sad Old Man, who's a Protoss. He's also an SK Bravo, but he's retired from, compare Brood War now after a pretty bad game versus Telecom, where I think it was against Telecom, where all his units got stuck. But following that up, we are going to have V1 versus Black Snow. That's going to be a PvP on New Empire of the Sun. And in the fourth match, we will have a TBT, which is a rare occurrence in the STPL, and that's going to be between Big Fan and one of those debut players I was talking about for SQA, SKB. That's going to be Carl Rires. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. It's going to be a very hard name for me to say, I'm not going to lie. But let's actually have a look at the players in the first game. Let's see how they've been doing so far. We have Tupac as the Protoss player fighting for Team Liquid Staff. And his opponent, as I said previously, is going to be OldManSlum fighting for SK Bravo. And he is a Zerg player. Now, OldManSlum, unfortunately, has lost 3 of his games. 2 of those have been against Protoss players, so not the best so far. Tupac is at a 50% win ratio against Zerg right now, so he's going to be wanting to push that, making that a nice 75% win ratio here. But, I mean, he's doing pretty well overall. He's got a 50% win rate in both all of his matches and versus Zerg, so that should be pretty fun. Now, let's just quickly have a look at the map stats, and let's see where we're going to go from there. Now, I'm just going to start the Brood War music, and nearly screwed up the camera, but luckily enough, it's all good. And as you can see, it's going to be on Chupung-Ryeong. So far, ZVP has been pretty balanced on this map. Protoss have gone 3-2 so far, but of course Tupac going to be wanting to extend that lead. OldManSlum going to be wanting to pull it back in the other direction, tie it up. Now PvC on this map's pretty fun. There is that back route you can run in. We often see Protoss players put like a forge there to wall off, but then that obviously changes your wall at the front of your natural, so it makes it a little bit harder. But obviously a 2-player map, lots of tight spaces, lots of tight chokes, very good for Storm, very good for Reavers as well. But also a very pushable nat early on. So, going to be cool to see how these players are going to play this out. So let's not waste any more time. Let's head into the first game of today. And let's get started with the STPL. Okay, now starting us off in the bottom left position, we do have the Teal Protoss. It's going to be Tupac, fighting for Team Liquid Staff. And his opponent starting up here in the top right position is the Peach Zerg. It is OldManSlum, fighting for SK Bravo. Now this has been a... I mean, so far we're about to play the 6th week of the STPL. There's been 5 weeks played so far. This is the final day of week 5 casts, and so far I have had a hell of a lot of fun casting all the games. I'm looking forward to getting someone else to cast with me soon as well, just to give my voice a little bit of a break. You know, it's been pretty hard, and but I mean, hopefully for the playoffs I'm going to bring someone extra in. Hopefully they will stick with me through round 2, 3, 4, and will be there with me in the grand finals as well. One thing I really want to try and do is for the grand finals, and even for the playoff finals, try and play them all live, get everything live, get some, like, maybe get a trio of casters in. It'll be a lot of fun as well. But of course, this game going to be very exciting as well. You see the Gateway first coming up for Tupac. Interestingly, not going to be scouting after this probe, so I guess we will see a 10-10 2-gate here. Yes, we will. 10-10 2-gate coming up. Going to be looking to put some pressure on the Zerg player. But OldManSlum is, even though he says his name is Old Man, he is not playing like an old man here. He is going for a pull first. That was a pull on 12. He's likely going to go for a 12 hatch just after this. But he's sending out a pretty quick drone scout as well. Going to make sure there's nothing crazy going on at the Protoss base side. Oh, this is actually really nice by OldManSlum. He's going to hide his drone away from the probe, make it look like he's not planning on expanding. And obviously this will allow him to get the hatchery down unhindered, which is very nice for him. Tupac going to see that there's a pull first. Not going to be overly happy with that. Yeah, not going to be overly happy with that. And also he has had his 2 gates scouted, so... Unfortunately for Tupac, this isn't going his way so far, but obviously this is going to come down to a lot of control zealots. Have a lot of nice little tucked away areas they can get back into to wall away the Zerglings. and try and do as much damage as humanly or zealotly possible in this case. And it looks like we do have the Lynx chasing away that probe. Gonna allow OldManSlum to add a third hatchery or tech up, depending on exactly what he's planning to do. But this probe is going to go back in once again with the Zealots, wants to try and use that to help assassinate some of these Zerglings. But needs to be incredibly careful here. This is going to be such an important dance, and this is not going in Tupac's favor at the moment. A lot of free damage going down on that first Zealot and the probe. And here we go, it looks like the Zealots finally fighting in the best possible position, but still there's a lot of damage coming in from these Zerglings. Lings split up a little bit, one of the Zealots does go down though, but this isn't going to be enough Lings to take out these final two Zealots. One of them incredibly low on health, but with the third and fourth coming in to respond to this, OldManSlum is going to have to make sure he adds on some extra defense, some extra Lings, and it wouldn't surprise me if we were to see another hatchery come down here to form part of a wall, but then maybe building a wall would actually be detrimental, because obviously it gives good surface area for the Zealots. Surprised we don't see a single sunken colony yet. This is kind of greedy from OldManSlum. He's going to try and rely entirely on Link Micro. The drones have been pulled to try and trap some of these Zealots, but not going to be good enough. The Zealots are going to pull away here, and the Link's still trying to take down as many Zealots as they can. The drones pulled off the line for a very long time here. This is very well worth it for Tupac. And Tupac's supply is slowly going up. More and more Zealots do keep flooding on in. But the Link Micro has been pretty good. The Zealot Micro not been the best, taking a lot of damage here. And the Lings look like they are going to finally push this back. Now we can see by the minimap there is a hatchery coming up at the natural. Likely going to have a sunken coming up behind this as well, just to make sure he's ultimately safe. But Tupac looks like he's going to continue this just for a little bit, just so he can try and get up this Nexus. But of course, the Overlord will spot this and everything. But here we go, Creep Colony coming in. Lings trying to get around the Zealots again. The Zealots got a very good surface area this time, but Lings from so many angles here at the front of the Zealots. Going to make it a little bit harder for the Lings to really do too much. Well, for the Zealots to really do too much, but I mean, Tupac needs to be careful. These Zealots are his only units. He spent a lot of time building these, and he's losing a lot of them very quickly. This could be over very soon. Is there a forge in the base? Let's double check. It doesn't look like there is. And this is a lot of Lings, and there's no wall. The Zealots trying to be pulled, trying to block any gap they can. But this is going to be so bad for Tupac. There's so many Lings on the way, and at the natural of Tupac, there's no units left to defend. The Nexus is probably going to go down as well. And this one plucky Zealot going to try and do what it can, but the Lings have got a nice surround. The Nexus is going to be target. No, he's not really sure what to target here. Going for the probe as well, making sure he can't add anything. And it looks like we do have some probes being pulled. Is he going to be able to drill the Lings away from the Nexus? He looks like he's going to let the Nexus finish. Can't really afford to let that go down. And somehow he manages to hold on to the Nexus, but for how long? There is a lot of Lings coming down here. Do we have Lair on the way? No, we do not. This is going to be a lot of Lings coming out of 3 hatcheries here for OldManSlum. And Tupac is holding on by the skin of his teeth. Lings on the gateway now, going to possibly take this down. Going to be very hard for Tupac to hold on to this. He should be getting a forge up. I believe that's what's building at the bottom of the natural. But as you can see, the Lings are absolutely decimating the Zealots here. It's going to be very hard to hold on to these gateways. But no, it's not a forge. It's actually just in the pylon trying to make a wall. But I don't even think that's link tight either. So here we go, the first gateway is going to go down. Looks like we did have a forge added in the main. And finally we have the Lings trying to break up into the main here. Is there a cannon in the middle line? There is not. Looks like the Lings going to go to town completely on these probes here in the mineral line. And Tupac isn't going to be feeling very good about this. He's trying to hold on with the very few units he has. But I mean, how long can he hold? He's only building Zealots out one gateway now. He has no other tech. The cannon in the main gets immediately cancelled, trying to probe drill, but it's just not good enough. There's just way too many Lings here, and no matter how much he tries to hold on, I fear it's going to be impossible. He's got most of the Lings, but he's lost a lot of his probes. He's only actually mining with about 9 probes now in his natural and 1 in the main, so he is not going to be feeling great about this. And meanwhile, OldManSlum just building up, droning up most likely, going up to his lair. Doesn't want to go super all in. We'll actually add a few more lings on just to prove me wrong, but there we go, adding 2 overlords at once, getting ready for when the first Corsair eventually does come out here, and the Cybernetics are finally on the way. But once again, there's only 1 cannon in the natural, there's only very few lings as well. Probe goes out, scouts the lings coming in, and this once again is going to be very difficult for 2Pack to hold. 2Pack's doing a pretty good job, but I mean, OldManSlum not looking to go super all in. He's going to expand, going to take his 3rd base. Likely going to see a... Yeah, there we go, a Hydralisk Den very shortly. Could even see Lurker upgrade very quickly. Very nice to actually Lurker contain using this high ground. Now, will we have Corsairs coming up for 2Pack, or is he going to skip them and try and go straight into Templar? His tech is going to be very far delayed at the moment, due to the fact he did go for that 2-gate at the beginning and it didn't pay off. So here we go, looks like we actually have some Zealots moving out onto the middle of the map, gonna try and take control at least of his high ground and at least push the lings away from his wall. But I mean, this could be a very, very dangerous counterattack when OldManSlum starts adding on a lot of units. It looks like we're actually going to have a Spire coming in as well. So OldManSlum pretty much playing completely standard off of the back of this. He's done a lot of damage, and I think he feels like he can actually just win in a macro game. So he's not really willing to go too far all in, doesn't want to throw the game away. Of course, as I said, SK Bravo haven't done all that great throughout the tournament. They've had some very, very tough opponents in Group B. Wait, no, SK Bravo are in Group A. They've had some very tough opponents in Group A, and I mean, they've been doing their best, and I think this is the result of that. OldManSlum doesn't want to lose. He knows he's very far ahead at the moment. He's nearly even on supply with the Protoss player, and I think he actually has more drones than probes at the moment. That's how far behind 2Pack has been after the initial sort of opening failed and everything. But I mean, 2Pack is going to try and move out on the map once again with the Zealots. There's not actually that many units back here for OldManSlum. They're all the way back in his main base, so I think that 2Pack is probably expecting them to be on the high ground. Going to find they're not, though, and going to pull back. So the main problem 2Pack is going to have here is eventually Lurker aspect is being researched, so the Hydras are going to be able to move up onto this high ground. And if there's a Lurker contained here, and Lurker's at the top of this ramp, how on earth does 2Pack ever plan on getting out of his base? It looks like he's going to try and sneak an expansion down here in the bottom right. But I mean, how is he going to hold on to it? It's going to be so, so difficult. No, it looks like he is just going to send the probe out to scout. Maybe check for any hidden units, wants to make sure there's nothing hiding down there. Of course, that is the sort of back way into his main, or into his natural even. We do actually have gateways coming up. Templar Archives as well, so he did actually skip the Stargate, as I said he might do. Do we actually have a +1 on the way? Yes, we do. That's almost finished as well. And this probe just trying to scout out anything it can. The Scourge going to be doing a good job scouting on their own as well. The 3rd base is finally up. And looks like OldManSlum still just sitting back, not really willing to attack. Doesn't want to throw the game away, as I did say before. But it really would be interesting to see what OldManSlum's game plan is from here, because the trouble is, when you do get ahead in Brood War, yes, you can play to get more ahead, you can play the economic game, and obviously the Pro Pig going to scout the Lurkers here, which is kind of important for him. But the trouble is, when you're playing the economic game like this, you can let your opponent back into the game. Obviously, 2Pack is going to be playing from a disadvantage, but all it takes is one strong move from 2Pack and he can come back. It's not like another game where if you fall behind you're basically dead and there's not really too much you can do. I mean, look at this, there's a huge amount of Zealots moving out onto the map. There's not actually that many units back here to defend, of course. The Lurker's going to be doing a lot of damage. There's going to be no Robo, no Observers for the meantime. But these Zealots, if there's so many of them, they can actually just run past the Lurkers here. Luckily enough for OldManSlum, he does have the Sunken Colonies behind this nice little wall though. But here we go, looks like the Zealot's going to look to go around the back. Now, of course, the Lurkers are defending this Sunken Colony here, and he's going to add an Evo Chamber to block. But if 2Pack comes in from behind, he may be able to take down this hatchery. Actually, we're going to have triple Evo Chambers at the third base. He is going to go incredibly upgrade happy here. He wants to take it to the late game, and this is complete proof of that. He believes true of trying to think of the right word, but he believes for sure that if he takes it to the late game in a macro game, he will actually win. Now, the trouble is when you do both get to 200-200, especially in CVP, it can be incredibly volatile. Like if you let the Protoss build up their ultimate army, let them get the Zealots, let them get the Templar, let them get their Reavers, let them get their Archons, then you could be in a very, very difficult situation. Now here we go, looks like OldManSlum trying to put on a little bit of pressure on the back, gonna force this pylon wall to be taken down. It may not be Ling type, but it's certainly Zealot type. But here we go, the units going in from the back, and these are the sort of moves the 2-pack needs to be making, catching these Hydras on their own. An incredible move here. Gonna actually give him the supply advantage now. And finally, 2-pack looks like he is hitting his stride. He's got cannons coming up to secure this third base. In his main, we actually see him up to 5 gateways now, including the one in the net. He does have Templar, does have Storm as well, and he is slowly starting to gain position on the map now. It's kind of funny that we have 2 Scourge here, and they're not really able to do anything. They're actually probably going to die to Dragoons, so that's kind of funny. I mean, the one thing to note is Zerg units do take a hell of a lot less supply up, and they do obviously have less workers overall, so even though he is only on 83 supply to 115, this is a very, very strong Zerg army. But look at this Protoss army already, and looks like an Overlord going to scout that third base, not really going to be able to do too much about it. But the issue that 2-pack is going to have is, even though he has a big standing army, even though it does have +1 against 0-0 from the Zerg player, he does not have any observers yet. Now, the important thing that OldManSlum can do against that is to actually spread his lurkers well. It looks like he's going to do that. Going to make it harder for the lurkers to be all hit with one storm. One big mistake you see a lot of Zerg players make when they get a little bit flustered is they don't spread their lurkers very well, and all of them die to like 2 storms, which is very sad. Although I'm a Terran player, that does actually make me sad, even though I like lurkers dying. But 7 gateways now for 2-pack. He's got his third base, he's going to be mining that. Going to add on his third gas, which will allow him to add on a lot more Templar. Possibly even a lot more tech as well. He can go into Dark Archons if he wants to. Dark Archons may not see a lot of play in the other matchups, but in CVP they're actually pretty good. Like Maelstrom, very good unit, or very good spell. Mind Control, even very good against like Ultralisks and things like that. And of course, Feedback, very good versus Defilers. Now, I do wonder if we do have Hive on the way, or if we do already have Hive to OldManSlum. I think we do. Yes, we do. We have the Queen's Nest. Now, Queens could see play here as well. Queen's very good in ZVP themselves. The 3 Evo Chambers, only 2 of them actually, or only 1 of them upgrading at the moment. Seems to have actually got 4 Evo Chambers from OldManSlum, so I think he overbuilt one. Maybe he thought the one was going to die. But you know what, he's going to be getting his upgrades. What actually upgrades do we have at the moment? It's going to be 1-1. And thank you very much for the host, Eon Zerg. If you are just tuning in from Eon Zerg stream, you are watching the STPL. This is TL versus SK Bravo Game 2. And it's been a pretty fun PvZ so far from 2Pacalypse and OldManSlum. So it looks like we're finally have a little bit of engagement. Hydra's going up, gonna try and snipe some of the Templar. This is huge. Oh my god, he could get the 3rd Templar. Could he get the 4th as well? This is well worth the trade of the Hydralisks. Without Storm, there's going to be very little the 2-pack can actually do to break up this ramp. There's no Overlord here though. The Overlord's been pulled away. There's nothing to spot the Observer at this point. But still, there's so many lurkers on the high ground. The 4th base is up now for OldManSlum. 2-pack, of course, mining off of his 3 bases, his main and natural. Still pretty healthy. Seeing that his main is about to be mined out, he was stuck on 2 bases a little bit longer than you usually see in a PvZ. But I mean, OldManSlum pretty well defended out all of his bases. He's got 3 lurkers in various locations, only 2 here though. Going to be a little bit easier for 2-pack to actually push up here. Going to make it a little bit better. Radley, if you're looking for someone from DM, it's probably best to use the STPL Discord. I can give you an invite after the game if you don't have it. That goes for anyone. If you are playing in the tournament, maybe if you do want to talk about the tournament, Please do feel free to ask for a Discord invite. While those, I'll probably put a Nightbot command spamming out that invite, just if you want to look at it. Got a lot of the players from all of the teams so far. Not everyone's there. Hopefully as we go through the tournament there's going to be more and more people signing up. The trouble is Discord, even though it's very popular in the gaming community at the moment, in the StarCraft community it's still not a massive thing for a lot of players. Like, yes, there is the Foreign Brood War Discord, and there's like 1,500 members or something. There's a lot of lurkers, of course, but here we go. Big engagement coming in the base. The drop into the main was a little bit of a fake, and that's a huge storm coming in, but there's so many units for OldManSlum. The Protoss is even in supply nearly. With the Zerg player, of course, Protoss does have +2 attack now, and the 4th base is cancelled from 2-pack. Now, is OldManSlum going to be able to push through here? He does have a lot of Hydralisks storming a lot of the Hydras there, barely missing his own probes. And looks like we actually have a lot of Lings here to catch the probes as they run to the base, but don't quite manage to get them. And OldManSlum doing a pretty good job, but 2-pack trading incredibly well here. Somehow, oh, there's an Overlord here. I was like, how on earth can this see this? Now, oh my god, there's a poor Hydralist in this Overlord that's about to die, and it's going to go down purely because he's forgotten about it. But OldManSlum throwing more and more units into the fray, going to try and snipe some Templar outside of the front of the natural of 2-pack. Doesn't quite get it, but we do finally have Defilers on the scene. They should have Consume coming up very shortly, if it's not up already. Yeah, there we go, it's just finished it looks like, so he's going to be able to consume those, and it looks like 2-pack gonna be trying to take his 4th base again. Now, even though 2-pack was incredibly far behind at the beginning, this is one of those things I said... wait. Oh my god, is this gonna be a broken replay again? I don't think it is a broken replay. My mic is fucked. Really? Okay, I have no idea what the sound is that's coming out of my microphone. It's picking up stuff that's not there, which is kind of weird. Okay, I'll have to sort that out after this cast, I guess. One thing I can cable. But here we go, looks like we're going to have a little bit of an engagement here. Hopefully the sound of the microphone doesn't... Okay, you know what? 1 second, I'm going to sort the cable out. I'm just going to pause the replay. I forgot we're in a replay. Just give me a second, guys, and I will fix the microphone. Ah. I think I fixed it. Is this better? Yeah, guys, how's this? Okay, I guess the cable comes slightly out. The trouble is, like, I've shown my cat on stream before, but she sits and bashes or headbutts with a microphone, so she probably knocked the cable a little bit. But there we go. Let's go back into the game. A huge storm going down, but actually storming a lot of his own Dragoons there. Nice Plague, but here we go. A nice storm at the back. A huge storm on the other Hydralists as well. And finally, we are moving forward into the game. Looks like a lot of units have gone down for OldManSlum, but both players building up an incredibly big bank right now. I don't think it's a broken replay. Please do not scare me. I've had a lot of broken replays recently. The funniest being a TVP from the other, or TVZ, between Radley and a Zerg, or Radley and Cold, for, so Radley obviously on Net Wars against Cold from... Oh, what team is Cold on? I think he is on... He's not on DM... Sai. So, I think it's Sai anyway. But basically, I reloaded the replay and the Terrans started winning, even though they were losing in the broken replay. That's like my perfect future. But here we go. Looks like we have a nice swarm coming down on top of the Hydralisk. Nice storm going down, though. A huge storm on the swarm! And a lot of damage going down on all of the units for OldManSlum here. Great storms. A brilliant positioning by 2-pack, but unfortunately there's just so many units here for the Zerg player even. Going to be pushing in, sending in more units, sending in a... Wait, I thought this was a big drop, but it's not. He's just sending a lot of Overlords down here. Wants to make sure he doesn't lose everything to two DTs, I guess, but here we go. There's going to be Zerg units falling in into the third base as well. Lots and lots of Lings running here. I think this is Ling Tide, though. No, it's not. Lings get through everything. These Hydros that were left alive going to be turned into Lurkers. Going to make it even more annoying that the Defiler doesn't manage to put a Swarm there. That would be an incredible move, but here we go. But stop confusing me. This is not a drop. Oh, is he going to pick up the Overlords? Pick up the Lurkers, man. Oh, there's no detection here. This is huge. A single Defiler is out front. These two Lurkers going to be doing a lot of damage. Going to deny the mining. But look at this huge, huge train of Zerg units coming in from all of the hatcheries right now. Fifth hatchery, or not fifth hatchery, but fifth base going up for OldManSlum over on the left side of the map. 2-pack doing a pretty good job trying to hold on, but both of them have such huge banks right now. I think this almost favors the Zerg, though. Obviously, 2-pack is going to mine out very, very shortly from his third base. He's mined out from his natural and his main. Meanwhile, OldManSlum mined out only from his main at the moment. This DT doing so much damage. And this one Zealot is going to kill all the Hydras as well. Swarm is great, but not for Hydras to sit under, especially when Zealots are in the game. But here we go, more and more Zealots moving up. They're going to have to run away from these Lurkers. We actually have 3-2 upgrades for the Zerg right now. Yeah, for the Zerg right now, and only 3-1 for the Protoss, so that is going to be benefiting OldManSlum a lot. Do we actually have any Ultras or anything on the way? I would like to say that OldManSlum has been saving for Ultras, but you know what? He does not need to. He has Adrenalings, he has Defilers as well, and he is doing a lot of damage over here to 2-pack. And, I mean, once again, we've got some probes transferring over to the fourth base. The thing is, the money is going down, but they don't really have enough production to make it go down fully. We actually have another gateway being added to the main base here. And oh my god, OldManSlum going for the style points. These bases barely ever get taken on since Chupung-Ryeong. They have like 4 sets of minerals. They are full minerals though, but very, very hard to hold these bases. They're completely in the center of the map. And there's absolutely nothing you can really do to hold them. But he has taken both. He wants to win with style. We're probably going to see another drone go over here to this base. I think we have had a few. There's Zealot with 3 kills at the moment. Now, are we going to have a big Doom drop into the main? More and more drones just being sent absolutely everywhere. Oh, a nice CT in the 5th base. So going to take out a lot of these drones. Some drones actually transferring over here. And OldManSlum has not noticed. 11 kills, 12 kills. And we're going to have 13, 14, and 15 very, very shortly as well. Really, really nice usage of the DT. But realistically, with a 4K bank, I'm not sure OldManSlum is really going to worry about that too much. He may even lose the hatchery, and it doesn't actually matter at all to him. This is the one problem with... this is the one problem, basically, when you're playing with a huge bank. Like, you can do harassment like this. Yeah, it feels really, really good. You're like, yeah, I killed 15 drones. And then it turns out they have 5k in the bank and it doesn't really matter anyway. You've actually just given them more army supply and then you die. Like, that happens to me in so many of my games that I don't even want to talk about it, but so many hatcheries being added on for OldManSlum. He's just adding on like 1 million Zerglings. Like, he doesn't really need anything else. What is the standing army for 2-pack? Like, he has some Archons, he has some Templar, they're all split up and just... I mean, okay, I'm going to zoom out here, because look at this. I hate zooming out this far, but look how many units Zerg has. He is covering the entire middle of the map. This is insane. If 2-pack manages to hold against this army, or trade efficiently, it would be an absolute miracle. The Zerg on melee is only 2-2, but we do of course have 3-2 still for the main one, for the range units. And 3-1 still for 2-pack. He is getting 3-2 finally. No shield upgrades coming in just yet. But even plaguing the buildings here, like, that's all he needs to do. Just plague the cannons. They'll go down to 1 health immediately. Look how quickly Plague decimates cannons. It's really ridiculous. It looks like Marines dying. Like, oh man, he's just plaguing absolutely everything now. He doesn't even mind. Like, what on earth is 2-pack gonna do about this? Like, Lings are just gonna run in, gonna kill every single one of these cannons, And I mean, he can just send in units. Look at how many Lings are training across the map here. I mean, you can have all the storms in the world. This looks like a campaign map here. And Tupac doing his best to hold on. He's got some nice storms, but there's still so many units here for the Zerg player. More and more Hydra sections, a lot of drones transferring over. But we do finally have a Reaver coming in. Reaver's going to be good. He does have a big bank still, of course. Archon's going to be worth their weight in gold against all these Lings as well. And slowly but surely, Tupac is managing to hold. But there's going to be another big swarm, another big plague actually going down on all of the units. Going to save the Defiler again. This Defiler must have casted about 10 plagues. But I mean, look how many lurkers there are. There's at least there's 11 lurkers overall, and that is just an insane amount. I mean, Tupac doing his best to hold on, but look at the amount of bases we have. We have hatcheries at every other base on the map. Tupac is trying to hold on the best he can, but these lurkers are going to do so much damage. I don't even think there's an observer over here. And, I mean, the Reaver's going to try and do its best to hold. There's one storm on this High Templar. It does have 18 kills, and that is a hell of a lot. But, I mean, he's going to get another 2 now, but that was kind of a wasted storm, because here come more and more Lings. They're going to take down the Reaver, going to take down the High Templar as well. The High Templar storming itself, just to make sure that all the Lings die. But, I mean, even Archons cannot stand up to this amount of Zerglings. Look how quickly they're melting. And all of these plague units just taking so much damage. The Nexus barely holding on. Hydra's taking out the probes at the second or at the third base now. And I mean, Tupac going for a counterattack into the middle, but he is going to see that he has absolutely no chance. He's trying to do the best he can. He's got a lot of storms here. Going to have to storm one of the lurkers. Almost feels like that's a bit of a wasted storm with the observer overhead. But you know what? Maybe he can take out the units in the middle. But he's losing his fourth base. That's his only mining base now. And he's going to lose this army in the middle of the map. Tupac is trying to stay in, trying to hold on. He knows if he does lose this game, his team is going to be down 0-2 in this series. And he is going to be relying a lot on his teammates. Tupac, one of the stronger members of Team TL, does a really good job. He's actually had some really good games so far. His macro has been thrown off a little bit this game just by the sheer amount of attacks he's had to endure. But I mean, this is still so much damage still. I mean, Zealots trade so efficiently against Lings in good numbers. I mean, Storm is just fantastic. But he's made absolutely no headway. The only thing that Tupac has done is actually lost ground. I mean, he's building off his gateways still. He can obviously build off his gateways for a very long time. We actually have a lot of DTs coming into the mix as well. Going to send some units over to the 5th base of OldManSlum here, but there's still so many Lings. There's just Lings absolutely everywhere. The Archon going to go down immediately. This guy, a hero with 20 kills. Probably from the 2 High Templar that did join up to this, but even so, I mean, Tupac just doing everything he can, but I mean, seriously, there's very little he can do now. He has 4 DTs, I mean, he can try and take out some of the units, but if anything, it looks like he's just trying to tire him. But the multitasking is so stretched by OldManSlum. This Zealot does get 8 kills on drones, so really nicely done there. But I mean, look at this. There's another 12 drones immediately transferring over to this base. I mean, okay, there is something very interesting happening here that I've completely missed, right? Tupac still has a bank, but OldManSlum doesn't. And this is why. He has built a lot of Mutalists. There's going to be very little to contest this. And he's also building Guardians in the middle of the map. This is going to be the death knell. But if Tupac can hold on to this, if by some miracle he can hold on and he can kill the drones at the other bases, he could still win this game. I mean, it's nearly impossible from this position to win. And I mean, even the DT's going down to Guardians. Like, he's scouted the Guardians now. He's like, let's count the amount of units I have to shoot up. He counts 1. He looks down at his keyboard and looks back up again. And he's like, oh, okay, I've got 2 more. I mean, three Archons, not going to be great. Of course, Storm very good against Guardians, but his bank's gone as well. He barely has any units left, and OldManSlum looks like he wants to finish it here and now with his Mutalists and his Guardians. I don't even think we even saw a Stargate at any point in this game from Tupac. And a nice Storm going down, but the Archon going down immediately. Do we have any air upgrades? Yeah, 3 Carapace already for the air. He has been planning this for a while. And I mean, the Archon's just melting to the Guardians. The Guardians on such a good high ground position here. Going to make it very hard for the Archons to get up to them. And all of the anti-air is now dead for Tupac. He has a single High Templar, does not have enough energy. I mean, there's another 5 High Templar coming in. They're all dying to the Guardians. The Storm does go down, a nice couple of Storms. But there's still another 5, 6, 7 Guardians here. And this is just way, way, way too much for Tupac to handle. He can't rebuild his army. And it almost feels like, I mean, Tupac is trying to hold on. He's sending his last DT out. He wants to put on a show. He doesn't want to go down without a fight. But this is like this is beyond a Kicks GG. Like, there's a Fantasy GG, there's a Kicks GG that takes it a little bit further, and then there is this. I mean, this is a 2-pack GG, but that's a very nice Storm. Oh my god, what a great Storm there. Oh, he's got another High Templar. He gets it. Gonna lose his High Templar, though, to do that. And there is still 1 Guardian remaining. Now, as I said, OldManSlum's got a bank, or not much of a bank, but it doesn't matter. GG! And